And my thing for the people would be I'm going to be a lot of Nuggets games this year because I'm finally living somewhere with an NBA team. So, you know, the DMs are open. If you're going to a Nuggets game, hit me up. We'll hang out. We'll kick it at a Nuggets game.
If you want to take, if you want Kyle to be your escort to a Nuggets game, DM Kyle. That's what he just said.
We'll talk ball.
Wow. Golly,
Oh, man. It is good to have you back, buddy. Hello and welcome back to Yay Basketball, the basketball game show. Monday, October 24th, 2022, recording live from the Yay Studio. I am your host and producer. Along with me today, I have one resident statistician, historian, and new father, Trey Dishner. Hello, my friend.
How's it going?
Get a W in the chat for our new dad here, Trey. Well,
Thank you, guys.
New dad again. Number
Yeah,
3 with us.
Number 3.
Very exciting. Congratulations.
Trey.
Trey. Of course, we also have Bob Aldrett.
Bo Bapwicks.
And back again, 1 week only, Kyle Charles is here.
1 week only. Thanks for having me back.
Welcome back.
So glad to have you, my friend. So glad to have you.
Happy to be here.
And thanks for everyone to everyone listening at home. Be sure you like, subscribe, rate 5 stars, share with friends, and follow us at Yay_basketball on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram.
Where's Justin?
Oh,
I'm being harassed already.
You're not Ron.
Yeah, be sure you add us on the gram. Add me on the gram. Last week we played What Did He Say? What's the Play? And Speed Takes, where we broke down Draymond and the Warriors, Victor Wembanyama. We did a whole bunch of other stuff. That might have been the week before, so forget about what I just said. But anyways, this is the basketball game show after all. So before we dive into our game of the day, I'm going to give you a quick update on the scoreboard here. So Justin is gone. The current standings, I lead 3,490. Justin is in second place, 3,090. Bob, third place, close, not too far, 2,240 points away.
Oh, yeah.
And
So I'm back in last.
Oh, yeah.
Trey has 0 points. Woo! Wrong again. Bet it all and wrong again. So
I come in tied for fourth.
yeah, you come in
I like my
tied.
chances.
Tied with somebody who's been here for the last 2
I
months.
need to follow your strategy and just like bet low.
You were making
low.
progress.
Yeah.
You kept
Man.
kind of getting there, and then
Right when I switch it up.
All right, when you switch it up. All right, everybody. Well, thank you for joining us. If you want to keep track of all of our game picks as well as chat with us, give us game ideas or ask us questions, things like that, be sure you hit the link in the description of this episode and join our Chalkboard group chat. It is a fun and free way to support the show. Okay, another excellent episode ahead of us, so let's just dive in with everyone's favorite game.
What did he say? Not a game. Everything's possible. Everything's possible.
That's right, it's What Did He Say? The rules for this game are very simple. I will play an audio clip of an NBA personality, player, coach, or analyst. It will be your job, Kyle and Bob, to work as a team to guess who or what that person is talking about. Each correct guess is worth 100 points in the event of an incorrect guess. Trey and myself will receive the 100 points. 4 clips today. Are you ready to begin?
Yeah, so ready.
Okay. Who is Stephen A. Smith talking about in this clip? In this clip.
You are a brilliant brother, brilliant basketball player, brilliant mind. But don't think you that damn smart that you get to navigate through this. We talking about the media setting you up. No, my brother, you did that. Opening night when you said we're not a team of shooters, you knew good and damn well who everybody's gonna look at. And you said it anyway.
Who is Stephen A. Smith talking about in that one?
Kyle. Brother.
Well, I think the media has been pretty tough on a couple players, but I think the last part of that kind of clues us in that he's talking about LeBron James.
100%.
After the first game of the season, talking about how they don't have shooters. After the last collapse last night, talking about not wanting to discussed their lack of shooting. So I think that's what Stephen A is getting at.
Yeah, 100%. I knew it's going to go down that Lakers rabbit hole, and I think that little part clued us in with LeBron. So
Locking in LeBron.
LeBron James.
And the last comment, KP, I'll say is this. My brother.
Brother.
To my brother, LeBron James.
That is correct. Yes, indeed. It is LeBron. The Lakers are bad right now, starting 0-3 and shooting an abysmal 21% from 3, which is dead last in the league. LeBron said after opening night, quote, "We're not a team of shooters," and more recently said, quote, "We couldn't shoot a penny in the ocean." Bob, thoughts?
I am so sorry. I want to apologize to everybody. I was wrong. I said they should not trade Westbrook and Pat Bev. No, please trade Westbrook. If you want to have any future, Lakers, please, you have got to move some pieces around. You have got to get people who can make, come on, like just even like a corner 3, like just somebody who can pull that out for you. Like I apologize. They need to trade him.
Kyle?
I said in my season preview, Lonnie Walker was a player to look out for that could average, well above his career average, and that looks pretty good. But that's kind of the list of silver linings so far. Michael, we were cracking up earlier when I shared with you the graph of teams on the percentage to attempt chart, where quadrant 2 is not where you would want to be, and where the Lakers were at looked like the watermark on who made the graph.
It was so far down.
So far, bottom right corner. Not great. They're horrible to watch. They've played good on defense so far, and it's still not getting them any wins. So it's very rough in Lakerland.
Trey?
Lakers are an embarrassment, man. Like, honestly, I mean, 21%, man. They've only hit 8 threes out of like 40.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's like Kyle just said. It's embarrassing to watch. They definitely need to trade Russell ASAP, like today. They need to get. I've heard Jordan Clarkson, Mike Conley, that trade with Utah. They need to either do something with them or maybe Indiana with Buddy Hield and Miles Turner, something. But they need to get some shooters in there. They keep letting go, their shooters, Malik Monk. They've had Kent Bazemore who can shoot. They've had guys that can shoot, and they seem to let go of them. So they just need to get some shooting on the team.
So the rumors came up today that the Jazz and the Lakers might re-engage in trade talks for Mike Conley and Jordan Clarkson and Rudy Gay. I asked Kyle, does this move the needle? It's like, yeah, but not enough. After game 1, the thought was, do the Lakers wait until something presents itself, like a Damian Lillard? Like, there's going to be players that are ready to move on and franchises that are ready to move on from the core they have, and things will present themselves, and the thought was the Lakers would wait. If you wait, it will be too late.
Yes.
They will be 4-21 or whatever, and then they'll be like, now it's time to move on from Russell Westbrook. Well, it was time last year. It was time this summer, and it's now time again, and guess what? It's probably not going to happen. I said this 2 months ago, and I'll say it again. I don't know that they have the pieces to move unless they're just completely willing to mortgage the future and get rid of those first-round picks, which is the only shot they have of getting a trade done. And if they don't do it, they're screwed. So I think it's going to be a rough year for LeBron, except for when he passes Kareem. That's what I think.
Tanking for Wemby.
Good job. 100 points to you, gentlemen.
That's the Pelicans pick.
Right, yeah. That's the thing.
Oh,
yeah.
That's
good point, Kyle. They could be the last team in the league, and the Pelicans get this pick. So it doesn't matter how bad they are. There's no benefit from being terrible. I don't think they're doing it on purpose, but anyways.
I bet the Pelicans beat the shit out of them.
Oh, yeah.
Every time they play this year.
Probably. All right, on to question 2 now. Good job for you, 100 points. Who is speaking in this clip here?
Yeah, I looked at the scoreboard. He had 25. So I'm always motivated by the best players in here. Playing with one of the best players in the league on my team, 2 of them. But I knew it was time to flip the switch and turn up the energy a little bit, not only for myself, but for my team, so we can keep on going and keep the momentum.
And there is some, I realize the initial thought is, what's the context? There is some context in there. Who was speaking in that clip?
Arena. I got that.
They are. Yep, that is true.
Attaboy.
Thoughts? I'll be ready to play it again when you're ready to hear it again.
So let's talk out a few hints.
Yep, this is a strategy.
He plays with the two very good players,
Very good players.
and he turned it on.
And he had to turn it on because someone on the other team had 25. Was that who he was guarding? That's kind of what I went to.
I think it was. He looked up, and that player had 25. A player on his team. What are the two?
Oh.
I don't know. Shall we hear it again now, and then we can?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, let's see in just 1 second if we can play that again. So I'll just let you know. He says the opponent had 25 points, and I realized it was time to turn it on. He plays with a couple of the best players. I play with a couple of the best players in the league as well. So that's kind of the feedback there that you'll get. Continue. I can't play it again at the moment. Go ahead.
Oh, okay, cool.
Okay. When he says 2, it makes me not think of the Warriors. So it can't be someone like a Jordan Poole, right?
Right.
It couldn't be someone. Would it be a Memphis player? Oh, because they had that overtime win over the Knicks. So do you think it was a role player? Well, there's not two great
best
players.
Yeah,
no.
that's what I was trying to think of matchups. Like, okay, we've seen
Could it be a Celtics player?
Yeah, we've seen Celtics Sixers.
Yeah. Harden maybe had 25 at that time. So who would have turned it on? Like a Grant Williams type or like a... Probably not Tatum, probably not Brown. Two of the best, so those are our Tatum and Browns.
Yeah.
So...
Let's get a name here if we don't mind. I realize it's kind of tough.
Yeah,
I'm not necessarily helping you, but let's throw out a name.
I'll pull the trigger on a Celtics player. What do you think?
Okay. That's not Malcolm Brogdon. I can say that.
Yeah.
I don't know...
God, would he pull out a Grant Williams?
Or I don't think it's Grant Williams. It could be Derek White.
Derek White?
I don't think he turned it on.
No. All right. This is a tough one.
Unless it's a Nets player.
That's exactly where I was going. Was it Ben Simmons?
Could be Cam Thomas.
Which one?
He sold it. Okay, it's a Nets player. Okay, so let's go with had it turned up. Opponent had 25. Two of the best players. I want to say Ben Simmons.
Do you think that sounds like Ben Simmons?
Let's see if we can hear it again. Let's see if we can hear it again this time.
Yeah, I looked at the scoreboard. He had 25.
Not Ben
So
Simmons.
I'm always motivated by the best players.
It's been a minute.
Playing with one of the best players in the league on my team, two of them. But I knew it was time to flip the switch and turn up the energy a little bit, not only for myself, but for my team so we can keep on going and keep the momentum.
All right, Royce O'Neal or Nick Claxton.
Oh. Whoa. Nick Claxton's been playing tough as nails.
Yeah.
I don't even care if it's wrong. I'm down with Nick Claxton.
Nick Claxton.
Nick Claxton, sorry for the technical issues. Let's see.
And let us bring in Brandon Ingram.
No, that is actually incorrect. It was Brandon
didn't
Ingram.
sound like him.
Yeah, I feel wrong awarding us points there, Trey. I'm sorry. We're gonna give him 50 points
we'll
for
take
that
what
one.
we
We'll
can
take
get.
50 points for that one.
It's the game.
Like I've heard some Brandon Ingram interviews.
Technical issues mid question, so I apologize. So 50 points for both of us. We'll just all split that one. So Brandon Ingram and the Pelicans got off to a great start with a
Against the
130-108 victory over the Nets, highlighted by a 28-7-5 performance by BI. Are we liking what we're seeing from the Pelicans so far, Bob?
I'm blown away by the Pelicans, actually. And that's something that we preseason had talked about. Like, man, look out for this team. It's going to be legit. Now we're seeing it. It's the truth. Pelicans are the truth.
Kyle?
Yeah, I picked them preseason to be a team to watch for. They could be a potential home court advantage playoff team. I said they'd be a nightmare on defense. And even the players who have not been historically good defensive players at all, like a Devontae Graham, who is 6'1", is blocking a 7'1" Kessler Edwards.
That block was
out
crazy.
of nowhere.
Yeah.
So Willie Green's got him playing tough. After last night, we're a little bit worried about their health with Zion and BI both being a little dinged up. But long term for the season, love this team.
Trey?
I'm liking the Pelicans. I'm liking what I'm seeing. This is a team that you definitely need to look out for in the playoffs. Could actually potentially make the finals. Honestly, coming out of the West, with Zion back,
Golly.
No,
I know. I'm speaking to him. No,
Golly, that's
if Herbert Jones steps up and
Yeah.
can guard, they're the best scorer on the other team. That's huge. Zion can match up with the bigs, forwards. CJ with his mid range and just facilitating the ball. Dude, I have Pelicans are a team to watch out for.
Are they a top 4 seed for you in the West?
I have them being a top 4 seed.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I obviously, I mean, you mentioned it, Kyle, that the injury to Brandon Ingram, he's in a concussion protocol now, and Zion has a hamstring injury of some sort, or but long term, they're scary. They have everything you need to compete in the Western Conference. They have the wing depth. They have the just overall depth. They've got probably 2 configurations of starting 5s that would be sufficient to compete in the West, let alone 1. Zion's playing out of his mind already. They did take that L to the Jazz, but we'll talk about that in a moment, I'm sure. Overall, nothing but impressed by the Pelicans so far. One thing for you, Kyle.
Yeah, just one last thing. So far, very small sample size. 3rd best offensive rating, where they're really killing teams, is just bully ball within the arc. From inside the arc, 60% of their offense is being generated. That's best in the league by far. That's easily replicable in the playoffs.
Yeah.
You know, we've seen lots of teams over the years where it's like they're killing people because they're just draining threes from everywhere.
Rockets.
And then that dries up and they go 0 for 20-something in an elimination game and they're done.
Yep.
But they're playing a brand of offense that will translate to the playoffs.
Paint scoring is a tried and true, is a timeless classic. I mean, you know, Shaquille O'Neal would be proud of this team. They are scoring in the paint. Yesterday, when we were watching that game against the Jazz, against the Hawks,
Jazz.
Yes, sorry,
Didn't end well, but
it looked like every single play was designed for a Zion layup. Or even if it wasn't designed that way, it resulted in that. There was like 4 straight possessions where it just ended up Zion's got the ball in his hands and he's leaping over guys. Feels like he never missed a game. Like this guy is so athletic, and now that he's in physical condition, man, I hope he gets back soon, and I hope he stays healthy because the Pelicans are horrifying. And with him on the floor, look out.
And a lot of picks.
A lot of picks, yeah. They're only going to
make a
potentially
move
get
at
better.
any point.
That's true. That's another thing. If they think that this could be the year, like Trey says, where they could make a finals run, they can go get another guy. So if a Lillard comes available, let's reunite CJ and Dame in New Orleans.
Oh, man.
I'd love that.
Or Bradley Beal.
That'd be cool.
Bradley
Could easily go and get Bradley Beal.
Hey, our resident Wizards guy
Where's
isn't here. Right, yeah.
I'm getting him in while he's gone.
All right, we got to get it moving here. So question 3, who is speaking in this clip?
Say it.
And who is this person talking about?
You know, as a hooper watching at home, I definitely felt his presence this summer around Los Angeles, and I think other guys can say the same, that P was putting in a lot of work and is showing for himself, and he's going to continue to get better.
Who is speaking in that clip, and who is that person talking about?
P is Paul George.
I believe so. Yeah.
So is that Kawhi?
No.
So it's
I don't know where it is. Hold on.
okay.
That's not phone enough.
There it is.
I think it might be Ty Lue.
Interesting.
Let's get a quick clip of that again.
Yeah.
You know, as a hooper watching at home, I definitely felt his presence this summer around.
God?
Around LA.
You talking about God? Felt God's presence?
They're all around us.
Sorry, go ahead.
John Wall.
Oh, okay. As a hooper around LA. Lots of pro-ams going on.
Right. I don't want to go. See, when I hear that, it sounds like, okay, this is out of left field, DeMar DeRozan, only because he's a California guy, and I think of other Californians.
That's true.
So that's why Kawhi, a little bit came to mind. But
We haven't seen a Bulls-Clippers game, though.
right.
Yeah.
And I don't know if DeMar's hanging out around there.
I like the John Wall thing.
Yeah, I think that's
He's
the right
back
call.
after a lot of time. He's going to be interviewed.
Yeah.
Wall? Talking about Paul?
Talking about P.
Let's
Playoff
see.
Pushing P.
Kyrie, Pascal Siakam had quite the game tonight.
Oh,
He had a
geez.
triple-double, 37 points.
No, it's Kyrie talking about Pascal Siakam. The Nets got the best of the Raptors on Friday with a 109-105 win, pushing both teams to a 1-1 record. Pascal Siakam, though, had a 37-point, 12 rebound, and 11-assist game. This is a team we haven't talked about a lot, but what do we think about the Raptors this year, Bob?
I've loved what I've been seeing lately. Obviously, Nick Nurse is still just as good of a coach as he was when he won a championship. I think Fred VanVleet and Scotty Barnes, Trey's guy, he's always talking about Scotty.
Yep.
Scotty is a fantastic player. It's ridiculous. And you can't forget about Pascal Siakam. I mean, an absolute banger of a performance. I think Toronto has a couple pieces to kind of throw some wrenches in there later on in the seeding. But the East is tough, my man. And I don't know. I think Toronto could end up playing team.
Kyle?
I believe I picked him as my over. I was trying to double check on that, but I couldn't remember. Yeah, I mean, they didn't come in with a lot of hype because there wasn't a lot to talk about as far as changes to the roster. When Otto Porter Jr. is your signature signing over the offseason, there's not going to be a lot of talk about how things might look different the next year, but they're relying on Scotty Barnes to take another jump. And after 3 games, it's hard to kind of extrapolate a whole lot off of that, but I think there's a lot of potential there. And like Bob said, they've got an excellent coach in Nick Nurse. They've got the pieces. So yeah, they're always going to be a scary team. As a person who roots for an Eastern Conference team, I'm always a little worried about the Raptors.
Nervous about the Raptors. You did take Toronto's over 45.5 wins.
Yeah, thank you.
Trey, tell me about the Raptors.
Raptors, I see them being a play-in team as well. If Scotty Barnes steps it up and does what we all hope he can do, I think they could potentially even be a six seed at the highest. Fred VanVleet is a hooper. I mean, he's averaging 3.7 steals a game.
Bob's favorite player.
FWV 23.
Yep. Has a 12.0 assist to turnover ratio as well. He's a facilitator as well. Pascal's been hooping. If they can stay healthy, watch out for the Raptors.
Yeah, absolutely. So the thing that makes me nervous is Trey, before the season, you said Scotty Barnes, all NBA, and he was averaging 16, 5, and 5 before his ankle injury.
Did I say all NBA or all defense?
You said all NBA, and I have it on wax multiple times.
I'll hold it.
We've got the
all NBA.
We got
then
the
I'm all in on
it. 16, 5, and 5 before the injury for Scotty Barnes. It's the same ankle that he rolled in the playoffs last year, which makes me a little nervous. Don't want a guy that sized. Not like he's a 7-footer. Don't want to ruffle any feathers. 7'5" or anything, but. Still, bigger guy, kind of still growing into his body, recurring ankle injury. Don't really want that to be a thing. Pascal Siakam has looked spectacular so far. I mean, that 37-point triple-double was felt like just the tipping point of what he's capable of. Yeah. I mean, I look at a game like that and I don't go, oh man, this is as good as he gets. I go, holy crap, what if he gets it together more than this? The Nets game was, it was a close one, closely contested. The Raptors made a late run, but overall, Nets able to close it out to get their first win. I agree. I think Raptors are probably in that 6 to 9 spot, 7 to 9 spot. Sorry, I think they'll be pushing the play-in. I don't think that they'll be in the play-in. I would probably assume that they would be. If they are in the play-in, I think they'll be one of the top seeds in the play-in. I don't think they're going to be 9 or 10. Good job.
Not a team you want to face.
Yeah,
that 2-3 seed. Good motivation to get that top seed.
Absolutely, the Raptors, especially like you said with Nick Nurse, running the ship there. They are a well-oiled machine, as Kyrie goes on to say in that clip there. They look very good. So good job. Who is speaking in this clip? And who is this person talking about?
He does some things like, it's incredible. I don't even know what to talk about. The things he does on the offensive end, the passes he makes, how he gets everybody, set up, it's amazing. Last year playing against him, just like seeing that from last year and then being on the receiving end is totally different.
Who is speaking in that clip, and who's that person talking about there, Bob?
It makes me think of a very high value trade that happened. So someone who is a borderline star, if not a star, that was traded. Everyone hated playing against him. Now the opportunity to play with him. Or the other way around. He joined that team that had him. I don't know. Anything ringing a bell, Kyle?
The only kind of high profile game that I can think of intermixing is Jazz Wolves.
Right.
So I wonder if it's either like an Ant or talking about Ant. I just wonder if,
Let's hear the beginning again.
Huh? He does some things like, it's incredible. I don't even know what to talk about. The things he does on the offensive end, the passes he makes.
So point guard.
the passes he makes. It's incredible going against him last year and now being on the receiving end of it.
Now being on the receiving end of it.
Correct. Receiving those passes he's talking about.
Oh.
Let's get some names thrown out there. We got to push.
It's not CP. It's not.
That makes me think of Ja.
Yeah, it makes me think of Ja too. So who joined that Memphis team that they would want to interview?
Yeah.
It's not Ja. Woof. Okay. Receiving end of some of these passes.
Gonna need a name.
Yeah.
This is a tough one again.
Can we just go?
Let's
go half of it.
Let's do. Let's be on the receiving end of some of these passes. So let's go with. I don't know. I kind of like. It doesn't sound like Go Bears. That's not the answer. Throw out a name.
Any name at this point, we're gonna need one.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, let's say they're talking about John Morant. I just have no idea who's talking.
John Morant with a mystery player. Let's lock it in. First, let's find out who is speaking.
Happy to have Christian Wood put the headset on and join us.
Do we know who he's talking about?
Yeah,
it's gonna be.
It's okay, Luka. Was it the home crowd? Was it your hot start? What got into this team?
Nope. And no, that is another 200 points for us. That is Luka being spoken about by Christian Wood. Luka Doncic and the Mavericks absolutely mollywopped my Memphis Grizzlies the other day by 41 points in their home opener. Doncic had 32, 7, and 10, while Christian Wood had himself a little night with 25 and 12. Are the Mavericks better than they thought they were? Than we thought they were there, Bob?
Yes. The 41 points over the Grizzlies is nutty. That was something I did not see coming. Because this is potentially, this could be a lot of people's Western Conference Finals matchup here. And to see that happen, it doesn't give me maybe too much expectations were put on the Grizzlies and not enough on the Mavs. But to see the Mavericks play as well as they did, I'm thoroughly impressed.
And Luka specifically.
Yes.
Played like a monster.
He did.
Kyle.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a Mavericks fan, this is what you expect from Luka. No surprise there. But like we talked about preseason, it's going to come down to, we were worried that if this is your team and your second best player is a question mark, is it Christian Wood or Spencer Dinwiddie or Dorian Finney-Smith?
Right.
Like, that's maybe not the best position to be in.
Probably.
Yeah.
So far, it looks like it's Christian Wood. If this is sustainable, I mean, currently he is, I want to say, tied for 19th in scoring in the league.
Not bad.
Pretty damn good.
Yeah.
He's a high
questionable. Yeah. I mean, questionable kind of situations we've seen so far. In game one against the Suns, they were up big. Christian Wood's absolutely cooking. Gets yanked off the court late in the fourth quarter. Mavs blow a lead. Pretty weird situation. Personally, not a fan of Jason Kidd's late game coaching decisions as a Bucks fan. So I'm still going to be skeptical 3 games in. But yeah, if I'm a Mavs fan, I'm very encouraged by what I've seen so far.
Trey, tell me about the Mavs.
Mavericks are definitely better than what we expected when they lost Jalen Brunson. We thought this team was going to be a little, worse with scoring. So beating the Memphis Grizzlies by 41 points is like wild. They do have some guards that can score with Tim Hardaway, Reggie Bullock. They got some shooters. We do expect that from Luka, but yeah, this team is better than what I expected.
Me too. I was talking to a friend of mine, and he's a Mavericks fan, and was saying, look out for the Mavs, look out for the Mavs, look out. And I was just like, I just don't buy it. I don't buy it because it's like you said, Kyle, that their second best player is who? Do I think they can win a championship? No. Do I think right now they have the chance to be a top 3 seed in the West? Holy moly, I guess.
Yeah.
They beat the crap out of my Grizzlies, and it was over before the end of the first quarter. I mean, they were you guys probably saw this highlight, right? He dribbles up the right, Luka. He's him, the only one that we're talking about right now. He dribbles up the right hand side, does this crossover under scoop off the backboard pass alley oop to I remember who dunked it. I don't remember who dunked it, but I think it was Christian Wood. What are you talking about? I mean, that's video game highlights that like we don't even pull off in the video game with our 99 created players because the game's like, that's too ridiculous. Luka's doing things right now that look crazy. I don't want to undersell it. Great job. 100 points to you. Actually, 200 points to us. So thank you for that.
I'll take it.
We're giving our
Almost
points
got
away.
him.
So
For our analysis.
The final score for that game will be 450 to 150. Correct?
Yeah.
You got cool, awesome, great job. That was What Did He Say? Yes. Now we are back to our new weekly segment that, of course, is the one, the only. Hey, Bob, just quick on-air pitch. If we change it on air, that's fine.
Yeah.
Justin floated a name about this segment the other day called Bob's Buckets instead of Bob's Beasts.
Ooh.
Do you like Bob Buckets or Bob's Beasts more?
I like Bobby Buckets.
Bobby Buckets?
Yeah,
All right.
let's do that
Bob's
one.
Buckets, but for now it's still Bob's Beasts. So next week you can look forward to Bob's Buckets, but for now...
It's time for Bob's Beast.
What you got?
All right. This is a good one. All right. So I'm going early predictions for Coach of the Year.
Ooh.
So we're now about 3 games in, and I have to go with number 1, who I believe is going to be Coach of the Year, Celtics, Joe Mazzulla.
Wow.
Okay. And I have to shout out my brother for this one because he sent me the best meme. It said, he's not the step coach. He's the coach that stepped up.
Wow.
So far, the Celtics are the best team in the NBA. I think they look fantastic. And the fact that Mazzulla has put this together, hey, watch him pull out Coach of the Year off, everything that happened. It's just crazy enough to work. Okay, number 2. I've got the Nets. All right. After all of the controversy.
Wait. Steve Nash?
Steve Nash.
Winning Coach of the
Or
Year?
the Coach of the Year.
After
Watch
Steve
this.
Nash gets fired.
Watch this.
2 weeks from now.
Theoretically.
Watch this.
But it's one of those things where the front office was so shuffled and they didn't know where to go with KD. They didn't know if they wanted to go with the coach. They stuck with the organization. And I know we talked about this about a month or 2 ago, but they always stick with the coach. So I think if they have faith in Steve Nash, Steve can keep the team together. I've got a lot of faith. So that's my number 2. Number 3, I gotta give it to Willie Green, dude. The Pelicans head coach. The Pels are looking fantastic at 2-1. We've talked about them already today. But someone we didn't talk about, Jonas Valanciunas. He had a banger of a game last night where he put up like over 30 points. Rebounds were absurd, which I think absurd.
No Mavericks.
Bo Mavericks. And then speaking of which, that's my number 4.
Ooh.
Jason Kidd.
No way.
Yes. You mentioned Jason. Kyle mentioned Jason Kidd earlier for questionable late game decisions.
Questionable Coach of the Year.
I totally get that. But again, getting together a team where we don't know who the second best player is and pulling them together and being a top 3 team in the West at the end of it, damn. I like them. Anyway.
Damn, son.
Exactly. And finally, number 5, I have the man, Mike Budenholzer.
It's close.
Budenholzer.
It's closer.
Hit me.
Budenholzer.
There it is.
There it is. I mean, he's in the same form where in which he won Coach of the Year a couple years ago, correct?
I don't
Like
I don't
2.
think he has a Coach of the Year.
I thought he did.
With
I
the
could've sworn he
Hawks.
With
did.
the Hawks, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's where I got a little confused.
Our
I think he's
sweaty king.
He's
Looking for somebody to let him into the nightclub.
He always looks like he just saw the fattest ass.
So that's my number 5, and those are my top 5. Bob's Beast / Bobby Buckets.
Awesome. Next time it'll be Bob's Buckets.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, good. Okay, well, we have got to get rocking and rolling here, folks. So we're on to our segment of the day called Muggsy or Ming.
Muggsy Bogues. Oh, yeah, Ming throws it down.
Now, if that song sounds familiar, it's because, yes, you're right, it is also our intro song. Yeah. Okay, so here's how this one goes. A lot of news to go over this week, so I'm going to mix things up and with a new segment that we've done before. So here's how this one goes. I will give you the headline, and you tell me whether it's a small story, Muggsy, or a big story, Ming. Let's get right to it. The Philadelphia 76ers are 0-3 to start the year, losing games to the Celtics, Bucks, and Spurs. Joel Embiid looks frustrated, Harden already looks tired, and Doc Rivers is still somehow coaching this team. Bob, Muggsy, or Ming?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so as much as I want to call it a Ming, I think it's a Muggsy. I think the team is still together. They still have coherent pieces, we believe. And, I mean, the 76ers, they lost to the Nets and the Bucks, okay? those are tough games right off the bat. Obviously the Spurs, whatever, but they're probably going to win tonight against the Jazz. Is that who they're playing tonight? They are playing the Pacers. Yeah, they're probably going to beat the Pacers, so they'll end up being 1-3 to start the season. But
I probably said the same thing about the Spurs game though, and look how that turned out. Kyle, Muggsy or Ming there?
I'm gonna call this a Ming. What's one step? Is it a minute bowl? Even slightly bigger?
It's a Victor now. It's a Victor Wembanyama. Go ahead.
It doesn't look pretty at all. The things that, if you're a Sixers fan, you've seen before, you're worried about before, they can't figure out the rotations at all. They get killed when they start putting their bench unit in because they don't stagger their stars. Just, again, I just picture myself like, okay, the frustrations I've had as a Bucks fan that I've gotten over, that I've been skeptical about Bud in the past. It's like, okay, if I'm a Sixers fan, the things that I've been skeptical about with Doc has not been fixed at all. The roster has improved. The results have not improved. So, yeah, it's a big deal. You're not trading Joel Embiid. You're not trading James Harden. You're going to get rid of the coach first.
Yeah, but also I feel, the trades are done. And I also don't think they're getting rid of Doc Rivers. I mean, we were talking about this the other day. I think they're going to have to go through some sort of crazy stretch for him to get fired. I mean, he's just a high-profile name, and if nothing else, that does it in today's NBA.
I think the one thing is they have a lot of these pieces that they could kind of, I guess in a gambling term, like color up, like take a lot of your small pieces, trade them in for one big piece. They got a lot of guys that are playable that aren't getting much playing time now. You could trade a Thibault and a Milton and maybe one more guy for somebody who's going to compete more.
Trey?
It's going to be a Muggsy. We talked about this last week. You know my predictions. I have them winning the championship this year. So, it's the beginning of the season. It's nothing to worry about. Come on, we're talking about Joel Embiid, James Harden. They're going to get it together.
Are they, though? These are two guys who have historically been unsuccessful in the playoffs. They can do whatever they want in the regular season. Again, speaking as a guy who... My Memphis Grizzlies, lifelong Grizzlies fan, born and raised Grizzlies fan. Once upon a time, watched the Sixers every single time they played, and was wildly disappointed when they had the best roster they've had in who knows how long, since Iverson's Sixers probably in 2019 when they lost to the Raptors. And here we are. They've got James Harden. They've got Joel Embiid. Harden had a great game one. He had a great game one. Looked like, oh man, if this is what they're getting, look out.
Stellar.
And then what? They lost that game to the Celtics. Okay, fair. They lost the next game to the Bucks. Okay, fair. But Harden didn't look like himself in that Bucks game. And how do you lose to the Spurs? They're trying for victory just as much as anybody else is, and they still got to win against the Spurs at home. That's crazy to me. Okay, next one. Bob, hey, have you ever tried so hard to do one thing that you end up actually doing the opposite?
Yeah.
Well, that's what Danny Ainge has done, apparently, by building a super team in Utah. The Jazz are 3-0 and currently sit atop the Western Conference after their win against the Nuggets, Timberwolves, and Pelicans. The Jazz 3-0 start. Muggsy or Ming?
Ming. This is insane. I don't know why. He tried, but he failed somehow. Lauri Markkanen's looking wonderful, and to have him, and, of course, we'll always mention Ochai and Azumbuki there, but I really like this Jazz team. Jordan Clarkson's like, wait, you guys want to trade me? Yeah, right. And they're all just proving that, they can be just as good as everyone else.
Kyle, I think you have a differing opinion.
I go Ming. Don't get too attached to this Jazz team.
You go big story.
No, Muggsy. Sorry. Don't get too attached because I think this Lakers move is probably
on the
most likely to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The Jazz team is too good. I don't think they have much interest in winning. We did talk earlier about the fact that they have so many picks that they don't necessarily have to tank. They can rely on other teams, first-round picks to pan out more than their own. So they don't necessarily need to. If they hit 20 games in and they're 15-5, maybe they decide to go for something. But, I think early on you have a lot of teams that are kind of rusty, kind of getting into it, where the Jazz have just a lot of capable guys, which... They're going out there with something to prove. I think a lot of those guys are going out there with something to say in terms of future contracts, not necessarily, Kelly Olynyk's not going out there for the pride of the Utah Jazz.
Didn't he hit a game winner?
He did.
He did. Let's be clear here. He's not.
Well, Olynyk would be the one that would really embrace that fan base, if you know what I'm saying. So, Trey, thoughts on the Jazz?
Jazz, I'd say this is a Ming. The Jazz are looking really, really nice. They have a really young team. Lauri Markkanen's been playing like
possessed.
I've been waiting for this to happen since he came from Arizona because I was watching him in college and he was a freak. Yeah, the Utah Jazz is definitely something. They don't really have much to prove, so I can see them having a way better year than what we expected. Watch out for Will Hardy to win NBA Coach of the Year.
Oh,
thank you. Absolutely.
Yeah,
I will.
Yeah, I mean, here's the deal. You said earlier, Bob, that the Celtics are the best team in the league right now. I have some breaking news for you. They're actually not. Statistically, I know.
Which
3 weeks from now, we're going to be looking at the Jazz going, oh well, there it is. But for now, what have you done for me recently? They're the number 1 team in the league right now. They have the best offensive rating, right? Or the
Celtics.
best. The Celtics have the best offense. Yep. But the Jazz are 3-0, and also the Jazz have beat 3 legit teams that we all just talked about. I mean, we talked about the Pelicans for a minute. We all know that the Nuggets and the Timberwolves are probably going to be at least somewhat competitive in the West.
Oh yeah, 3 teams trying to compete.
And the Jazz are there looking down the barrel of these great teams saying, we don't care that they're, I said the island of misfit toys of the Kings. It might be the Jazz, and they might have something to prove. I do think there's something to be said that coaches are just kind of like, they're a perpetual trap game. That's why people aren't taking them seriously. Like, we'll get we'll open the season with a win, say the Nuggets. Awesome. We're gonna get our first win of the year, said the Wolves. Pelicans. They got blown out by the Pelicans, by the way. It was not a close game. The final score was a 20-something win or something like that. So I go Ming. I think it's a big deal until the shrinking serum hits and it's back to Muggsy. Okay, speaking of 3-0 starts, the Celtics don't seem to care who is coaching or who is playing for them. With wins over the Sixers, Heat, and Magic, it looks like the revenge tour is on, Bob. Muggsy or Ming?
I mean, if I don't see a reason to ever choose Muggsy here, obviously it's a Ming. Like, the Celtics are ready to go back to the finals with or without a head coach. They'll take their step coach all the way there. Who cares? Like,
the coach that stepped up.
Yeah, the coach that stepped up.
Kyle.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. I'll go Ming. Step coach looks awesome. I said before the beginning of the year, watch out for Malcolm
Brogdon.
Malcolm Brogdon. He's looked excellent so far. I think that was a great piece to add to what they had going on. It's a different element to how they can run their offense. Instead of putting Marcus Smart at the point, you put a player who's much better at managing a system in terms of saying it's Marcus Smart time whenever you get into the clutch situations. So, very scared of the Celtics. They look great.
Trey?
I'd say Ming. It's a big deal, but I honestly think the Celtics would play good, even with Deuce coaching the team. Honestly, whoever you put in there, it wouldn't make really a difference at this point. So
the roster is just too good, is what you're saying?
Yeah, we didn't think that they were really going to do much with Udoka coming in last year. Me personally, I didn't. I didn't really know much about the coach. I didn't know what to expect from them, but I did know the Celtics had a good roster and would compete. So yeah, I think it's a big deal, but yeah, they're going to continue to be successful.
Absolutely. I mean, they've proven it. Jason Tatum is leading the league in points per game at the moment.
MVP,
potential MVP. I do think that'll drop off a little bit because, like I said in my preseason's predictions last week, that he has too much help, and I think that will probably kind of draw away from him. Well, they're going to be really, really good, apparently. But Marcus Smart looks like a man possessed on defense. I don't have the exact numbers in front of me, but I know that he played Jimmy Butler and James Harden, and over the course of 3 games, allowed 8 points to be scored on him in ISO situations, which is just a terrifying stat. So, okay, last one here. Bob, Magic rookie Paolo Banchero became the first rookie to notch 25, 5, and 5 in his debut since LeBron James. He looks like a grown-ass man out there. Muggsy or Ming?
This is a Ming. He, again, looks like he's a 7-year veteran out there hitting that prime, and he's, 21?
Yeah,
22?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous how young he is, and he's showing signs of an absolute prime player. And
Run that back. Oh, sorry.
How old is Paolo there?
I truly believe he's the real deal, man.
Yeah, Kyle. Big deal, little deal.
Big deal.
19.
Ming, 19.
19.
I'm going to call my shot a little bit, and it
Call
may
it.
not be even care, but I'm going to say we're going to see a historic rookie scoring performance this year.
Uh-oh.
Small sample size again.
Uh-oh.
3 games in.
Uh-oh.
Bet your soul.
Here's what we're looking at so far. Paolo, 23.3 points per game, 3 games. Benedict Mathurin, another player I called out preseason.
He's been hooping.
24 points per game. Since the 89-90 season, the regular season records for rookie points per game, we have David Robinson, 24.3. Mathurin's right behind that. Allen Iverson, 23.5. Shaq, 23.4. Blake Griffin, 22.5. Glenn Robinson, 21.9. A lot of these top 25s are from the 60s and 70s, so that's why I kind of cherry-picked the 80s and beyond. But I think between the two of these guys, what's going to slow them down? Neither of these teams are very interested in winning. They've shown to be perfectly capable of scoring in volume. I think we might see just a spectacular scoring performance from one of these two guys. I'm fully in on both of them as being long-term all-star caliber players.
If you were putting your money on one of them to have, who are you picking more to be a better player long-term?
Yeah, I mean, he's just a grown man, 19 years old.
Trey?
Like Kyle said, it's a Ming. Boncaro's crazy. He's a 19-year-old grown man that's just dogging out.
Yeah.
Whoa.
He's
pause. No, but yeah, he's just like dominating down low in the paint with 30-year-old man.
Yeah,
So,
he's going crazy. Paolo looks like a man possessed. I mean, it's crazy. 19 years old.
19.
That's
man.
crazy. 19.
Shocking.
The things he's doing is so impressive. So I go Ming as well. Alrighty, guys. Good job. We are on to another weekly segment called Trey's Fact of the Day.
Alrighty, guys.
My
So
favorite song.
this week we have a Serbian player by the nickname of the Joker. Okay. So the fun fact of the week this week. Sorry.
You're good.
So Nikola Jokic, he was the fastest person to record a triple-double ever in the NBA history. And he recorded that in 14 minutes and 33 seconds into the game.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Excuse me?
Yeah, 14 minutes and 33 seconds into the game. No
cap?
No cap. No cap. So he finished with 13 points, 15 rebounds, 17 assists. He did have 8 turnovers, but he was responsible for over half of the Nuggets' points. He produced 74 of their 134 points. So I don't know. With the he deserved the back-to-back MVP these last couple years. I know there's been talks about it, but I personally haven't seen a big man that could score and do what he can do. Victor's going to probably be able to do stuff like that, but totally different player. So yeah, I mean that's my fun fact for the week.
14 minutes. That's just over the first quarter.
When was this?
This he
season?
got it. He got it into the second quarter.
Wow.
Wow.
What season? This was a couple seasons ago,
This
right?
was so 2018.
Wow, a few years back.
Yeah.
But, so that's before he was like elite double MVP Joker.
Yeah, this was before that. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Good stat. Great job. Fun fact of the day. And we are on to our game of the day called Name That Dude.
You know this man?
What's his name?
You know this man?
What's his name? Who is it?
Here's how this game works. I will read you a category. You will take turns bidding against each other as to how few facts it will take you to name that dude. Get it right, you get the points. Get it wrong, and your opponent has a chance to steal for the same amount of points. Kyle and Bob, think of a number between 1 and 9,000.
Oh, okay. 4,500.
4,501.
It was 8,999.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is, Kyle. All right, do you want to go first or defer?
Defer.
All right, category 1 is worth 25 points. The category is 2023 rookies.
I could name...
He gets to choose first.
What do I get to choose?
How many facts you can name it in?
For him.
He deferred.
For either of
I
you.
deferred.
I'm sorry. You get to choose how many facts you can think you can name this player in. 5 facts on the board.
I'll go 2?
You think you can name it in 2 facts? Probably want to up that just a touch.
3.
3.
That's
Okay.
bigger than 2.
I'm going to go name that dude, brother.
Okay, so 3 facts for you. 2023 rookies. He was drafted 6th overall. He's 6'5", and he's Canadian. Hey, Kyle, name that dude.
It's Benedict Mathurin.
You got it.
Oh,
That was
wow.
right. Yeah, that was kind of a. I was thinking that Bob might get it and scramble, and then he'd be left to. Okay, yeah. That's what I was thinking. I told Kyle earlier. I was like, I'm making these games, and everything's too easy. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we showed that earlier.
Yeah, right. Yeah. All right. 50 points. And now, Bob, you get the chance to choose what the dealio is. 50 points for category 2. The category is players 7 foot or taller.
I think I could name them in 4.
I'll give it to Bob.
Name that dude. Name that dude. 4 facts on the board for you. He's played for 2 teams in his career. He was the 9th overall pick in the 2016 draft, and he wears the number 25, and he's Austrian. Hey, Bob, name that dude.
2016, 9th overall.
2016, 9th overall.
Number 25, only played for 2 teams. He's over 7 foot. Gosh, darn. 2 teams, 9th overall, 2016. I don't know if it lines up or not, but I'm gonna have to guess. Because now he's only played for 2 teams. Number 25. I'm gonna go Rudy Gobert.
Rudy Gobert is incorrect. Kyle.
I think I only have one guess for this.
One guess.
I'm gonna go Jakob Poeltl.
Jakob Poeltl. Yep. That is correct.
Got it.
Yes. 75 points for you. Well done. Kyle, you get the chance here. 75 points on the board.
How many did I get in the first one? Another 75?
Another. You got 25 and 50 so far, so 75 total points for you. Okay. So you are up to 225 points for the day.
Correct.
75 points on the board for this category. Category is players that were traded this offseason. 5 facts on the board.
I'll go 3.
Okay, yeah, name that dude.
Oh, 3 facts. Okay. He has played for 4 franchises in his career. He's 6'9", and he's a power forward. Kyle.
Okay.
Name that dude.
Oh shit, is that the devil?
The devil.
I'm back! I'm back to claim the soul! Sorry, okay, back to you.
All right, power forwards that have been traded, but 6'9", a little bit on the smaller side. 4 teams. That's tricky. Golly. It's crazy. I will go.
Golly, that's crazy.
Give me Royce O'Neal.
Royce O'Neal is incorrect. Your chance to steal, Bob. Played for 4 franchises, 6'9", power forward. Traded this offseason.
I'm in between 2.
A rock and a hard place?
Yes.
2 rocks, 2 hard places?
2 rocks and 2 hard places.
Damn, that's crazy.
That's great.
Golly, that's crazy.
How about KCP?
KCP is incorrect.
Is it Blake Griffin?
It was Derek Favors.
Oh.
Derek Favors. The other 2 facts he missed there. He was drafted in 2010, and he's from Atlanta. Would that have given it to you?
Nope.
Didn't think
he
so.
already got cut.
2010.
So
Wow.
Neither of you get the points for that one. 100 points on this last category. Foreign-born players is the category. Bob, 5 facts on the board. 100 pointos.
Foreign-born. I could name him in 5.
Okay.
I'll go 4.
I'll go 3.
I'll let him go first.
Name that dude. It is 3 facts. Foreign-born players. He was drafted in 2019. He's 6'9" and wears the number 8. And he's a forward.
Where's the number 8? 6'9"?
Yeah.
Forward. Oh, I bet Kyle knows that.
Yeah, I know it. I know he does.
Kyle's got that look.
Ooh.
Yeah, he's like, come on.
Foreign-born. I'm just going to throw it out there. Sounds like Rui Hachimura.
Rui Hachimura final?
Yeah.
That is correct. Amazing, amazing.
Boom.
So Bob wins the game.
Pull that one out.
Good
Whoa.
job.
How many points for Bob?
Man.
Bob just got 100 points. The final score of that is 75 points for Kyle, 100 points for Bob. That was Name That Dude.
Do you know this man?
Rui.
What's his name?
Yeah, it was Rui Hachimura. It was Rui Hachimura. I knew the Benedict Mathurin thing in there would be a gimme for you at some point, but I wasn't sure how it would go. Okay, now we've got all these points, and you're probably wondering what we're going to do with all these points. And to you, I say we gamble them away, and props to you. Okay, or as Justin would say, all right. So Justin's gone, so I'm going to be your gamekeeper, I guess. Here's something we didn't do. Because Justin's gone, we didn't get our bets in order for the day. So we'll look them up real quick, but just to recap, so how many points did I get for the day there? That was 450, correct? I got 450. Trey got 450. And let's see, Bob, you got 100 plus 150, so you got 250. Kyle, you had well, we don't really need to point your points in there, no offense, but it doesn't really make a difference. Okay, so I'm gonna go Anthony Edwards under 21 and a half, and I'm gonna go with 100 points on that, because I'll tell you that Justin took Anthony Edwards over 21 and a half with 500 points, and that would swing things quite a bit. Bob, you got a pick? What do you think there?
I'm liking. I always pick the Warriors. I don't know. I'll switch it up for you guys. I like. Was that the Nuggets under?
-5.
-5? Yeah, let's do that.
You going under Nuggets?
Yep.
All right. How much do you want to put on that?
My final points right now?
You're taking the Nuggets to cover? -5?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, Nuggets to cover.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
I have, sorry, I'm looking at my points somewhere. Oh, well, if you're only putting 100 down, you have like, what, 3,000?
If I were to win today, I would have 4,040. Ooh, I got to do more than that.
Yeah,
'cause
no,
if
you
Justin
already
gets
said
right,
it. Because I'm going
No.
to get it right. I'm going to put them all on.
All of it.
All of it.
Holy moly. So 2490.
Time to take this dub.
Okay, Trey, what are you thinking?
I'm going to go with, I'm looking at Michael Porter Jr.'s points, rebound, and assist over.
Ooh.
I'm going to go with his over. It's at 23 and a half. I think he's going to get over that.
23.5. All of those combined?
So points, rebound, and assist. They're saying that he
Yeah,
won't get
that's
over
pretty low.
23 and a half.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to throw all 450 on there for you.
Yeah, do that.
Okay. And Kyle, do you want to make a bet?
Absolutely.
What is it?
I have 225 points, so I will go ahead and bet 200 of them. I'm going to take the Blazers to cover. They're +5.
Okay.
I think they're going to go ahead and cover that.
Okay.
And if they do it, I might
like
finish
that.
third on this
little,
show.
little head-to-head, yeah.
You might
bet them all.
Yeah,
so,
you might as well. Good job. Okay, everybody. Well, thank you so much for listening. As always, be sure you keep track of those game picks with the Chalkboard group chat, which is there's a link in the bio for that. So be sure to join that if you want to chat game picks, talk to us, ask us questions, give us game ideas, all that good stuff. Be sure you hit the link in the description for that. It's a fun, free way to support the show, so please go do that. Thank you for listening. As always, be sure to like, subscribe, rate 5 stars, share with friends, and follow us at @yay_basketball on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram.
Add me on the group.
Just a reminder, we are recording live from the A Studio.
Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
Rudy Bobert, what you got for the people?
You said it. I just have to say, congratulations, Trey. You're the man.
Thank
Good for
you.
you, brother.
Thank you.
And Kyle, man, it's good to see you again. Come back soon.
Oh, okay. To me? Okay. Well, that warms my heart, Bob. Thank you so much. I'm very happy to be back. I hope I can be back again this season. And my thing for the people would be I'm going to be a lot of Nuggets games this year because I'm finally living somewhere with an NBA team. So, the DMs are open. If you're going to a Nuggets game, hit me up. We'll hang out. We'll kick it at a Nuggets game.
If you want to if you want Kyle to be your escort to a Nuggets game, DM Kyle. That's what he just
We'll
said.
talk ball.
Wow. Golly, that.
Oh man, it is good to have you back, buddy. Trey.
Kyle, thanks for finally getting off the couch and joining us for an episode again.
Wow.
It's National Food Day, guys. So get some food in you. Get outside, touch some leaves, touch some grass.
Touch the grass.
And tell a friend about us. Yay basketball.
Golly. Get some food in you. Get some food in you.
Feed
Thank
the
you so
brain.
much for listening, everybody. We do appreciate it. Thanks for sticking around. We love you so much. Check out the YouTube. Subscribe to the YouTube. Listen to the YouTube. You haven't been on YouTube? Go to the YouTube. We're working hard on the YouTube. YouTube more than anything. We love you so much. Don't forget, yay basketball.